Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Courier, and I am here to help you deliver your value and grow your channel online. This is not my normal venue for doing videos, but I just wanted to pop in after reading an article on TechCrunch regarding some information about changes to YouTube's notification system. Some of you may have already read the article. If you haven't read the article, then I definitely suggest you check it out in the description of this video. But basically what the video or the article is talking about, hey, British Cook and Check It Media, good to see you guys. What this article is talking about is some changes that YouTube's going to be implementing regarding notifications. Hey, Creative Queen X, how are you? And the changes that they're making, Wow Electric also in there, good to see you. But the changes that they're making, wow, we got a lot of people in there. Dilly Dally Kids, Joel Hardy. Basically, they're adding new features or new flexibility to a notification system that basically allows people to decide how they want to receive notifications. Now, there's a couple different angles to look at this. One of which is people are going to have the ability to disable notifications through, I think by default, it's like 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., presumably when you're sleeping, which kind of makes sense. But the other thing that they are providing are some additional flexibility in terms of the frequency or the way in which you receive notifications. The most notable to me was the idea that you can choose to kind of receive a notification digest. I know a lot of other apps that do this, like you can choose to get your notifications on a weekly basis or daily basis rather than being notified every single time something happens. And I'm kind of looking at this in two different directions. One, I would say, well, maybe that means that people are going to get less notifications when stuff actually goes live, and could that actually hurt your view velocity? But on a side note, we all know that YouTube isn't really notifying everybody who's clicked the subscribe button and the bell anyway. So then that got me thinking, maybe once YouTube applies this, will that mean that anybody who chooses to have notifications wide open will actually get every single notification? So that's kind of an interesting angle. Kind of curious to see how it all unfolds and whether we see an impact on it. British Cook just asked the question of how does that impact live streams? And that's kind of an interesting question to see whether or not live streams are going to be handled differently, because obviously you don't really want to receive a notification of a live stream any other time than right when it's happening. So I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. I just wanted to pop on. I had a little bit of time now. I just left work and I am heading home to get the camper set up for our first weekend out in it this season. So had a little bit of a window while I'm playing with traffic here to jump in. And I thought it was an interesting article, and I think it kind of poses some questions for us as YouTubers, and I wanted to share that with you. Let's see what we got. Can you turn off the email notifications but keep the mobile notifications? So yeah, see, I don't exactly know how that's all going to play out. Thank you, Shannon Vlogs. Good to see you. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. In addition to that, they were also, what was the other? Let's see here without crashing. The other thing that they were changing, which I really didn't think was going to affect anybody too much, were the oh, people don't know how to drive. And bear with me, I'll bring up that other article in a minute, but driving's primary, so we don't want to hurt the tow vehicle. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, that or kind of interesting. I don't know if it's cool yet. Only time will tell exactly how that all unfolds. But I mean, that's a real good question about live streams in terms of whether or not they don't have to handle those differently. I would imagine, because you know, who wants a weekly or daily reference to those? So have any of you guys read the article, and what was your take from it? I'm interested in seeing what everybody thinks of it, and whether you guys picked up anything from it that I didn't. I read it really quick. I probably didn't read it word for word, but they mentioned two features. Good to see everybody in the live stream. Always good to pop in a little bonus live whenever I can. But I'm probably here for the next 15-20 minutes, so it's good to see everybody and try to reach some people that I don't normally get a chance to interact with. So I'll do it the best I can without running into any issues. But what's going on, Downer Island? I think that's what that says. I think they should make the text a little bit bigger on chat when you're on mobile like this. So basically, I mean, the article covers a couple different things. The primary feature that it focused on was this idea of taking a break, where YouTube is going to introduce a feature that allows a user to set a timer, which basically reminds them that they've been using YouTube for a certain period of time, like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or 2 hours, and basically give them the opportunity to remind themselves exactly how long they've been using it. Honestly, I think the people who are power YouTube users are just going to click on the notification and not stop using it when that notification comes up. So I don't see that as a huge problem in terms of how it's going to affect us as creators and, you know, the type of viewing, watch time, etc. that we're going to get. The other one was the change in notifications, which basically is giving people the opportunity to set a disable notification option, which basically turns notifications off during a specific window, which defaults to 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. So it's basically just saying turn off notifications while you're sleeping, which I don't necessarily have any issue with. You can obviously change the times that it turns off notifications. So I think that's kind of a non-issue. But the other thing that I was looking at was the idea that they could basically choose to get a notification type digest, you know, whether on a daily or weekly basis, of notifications of new videos, presumably. So, and then British Cook brought up the great point of, well, how's that work for live stream? So obviously, if somebody chooses the digest setting, it'll be interesting to see whether they put the granularity in there in terms of whether you can differentiate between actual videos and live streams. That's why I'm focusing on the road and not the camera as much. So sorry if I can't read your comments, but driving's the priority. It's actually rare that I'm moving this fast in traffic. Typically it's bumper to bumper traffic, but we're actually going about 25 miles an hour, which is better than normal. So hopefully if anybody has any questions, you're able to answer them amongst yourselves. But it was an opportunity to get a live stream in at a time when maybe some people who normally can't get to the live streams, which are normally the subscriber hangouts, are Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're not aware of those, definitely come and check them out. And now traffic's starting to slow down. Hey, Pam. And for those of you who are concerned, my phone is mounted on the windshield and I am looking at the road and not the phone. And now we're only doing about 20 miles an hour, so. Hey, seriously, Mom, good to see you. So I was kind of trying to think of another time, I'm almost thinking of maybe introducing a second weekly live stream on Sundays. So I can do a time that's actually earlier to kind of catch the people who aren't necessarily able to catch the live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern. You know, I know there's a lot of people that have a difficult time with that, but when you have viewers from all around the world, it poses kind of a challenge. Of course, surprisingly, there's a lot of people from Australia who end up on the live stream. So now I've completely stopped in traffic. So hopefully that makes some of you feel better that I'm not racing around. And I think the person in front of me is more distracted than I would be. Greetings from Holland. Good to see you. So for those of you who just joined the live stream, just to recap, I wanted to go live for a little while I had a few minutes here to talk about an article that's on TechCrunch. I put a link in the description, although hopefully it's readable. When you go live on mobile, there's no carriage return in the description, so you basically have to space things apart. I couldn't create a carriage return between the link and the other stuff that I normally populate in the description. So hopefully the link works and you can check it out, but definitely check out the article. But the high level view of that article was simply that YouTube is implementing some changes, one of which that lets people kind of self-impose a timeout to remind themselves how long they've been using YouTube, something that I should enforce with my daughter and my son, who spend way too much time on YouTube. But the other one was a change to the notification process, which allowed people to kind of, instead of receiving every single notification in real time. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing the link in the chat there. Oh, thank you so much, Jen Adventures TV, for the $2 super chat. Just because you're a good multitasker. Not sure if there was good in there, but so basically changing the way they receive notifications to get like a notification digest, which is basically kind of groups things presumably on a daily or weekly basis. And Car Galaxy Studios, I think you shared the link. If you want to scroll through that article and see whether they identified the frequency of digest, whether if it was daily or weekly or not. Basically the option of kind of consolidating notifications and getting them all at once rather than in real time. But again, as British Cook brought up, how does that affect live streams, and what will they do to address live streams for people who choose to get digests instead of, I mean, there may be some people who don't participate in live streams and really don't care about that, and they prefer the digest view. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. But good to see you guys. I apologize if I don't get to every question or comment, but driving's definitely the priority for me while I'm doing this. So this is my tow vehicle here. It has to get home and get hooked up to the camper. Yeah, so that's combining all your notifications into like a daily digest. So you'd basically get them once a day instead of as each notification applies, which quite honestly, the way that the notifications stack up on YouTube, a lot of times that's how I get them anyway when I'm on desktop. I mean, it's a little bit different for mobile, but I thought it was kind of an interesting change, a change that could impact the way people are notified of your videos. And my biggest thing, hey, I'm actually pulling up to a car that's exactly like mine. You don't see that too often. Nice car. But I was kind of curious exactly what impact it's going to have and whether it's going to change viewing habits and whether we'll see anything like that. But the one optimistic part of this change was that I'm hoping maybe, since they're giving people these additional options, they originally said that one of the reasons they don't necessarily give every notification to every user, even if they've clicked the bell, was because they didn't want it to be spammy. Well, if they've now given people the opportunity to not only determine when they're going to get notifications or whether or not they want to receive them in real time or as a daily digest, then perhaps they will remove the other restrictions on notifications, and people who turn them wide open, like, yes, I want notifications, no, I don't want to digest, yes, I've clicked the bell, will actually get every single notification. That's my dream world of how they would proceed with this. They basically said, hey, we gave you the tools so you can manage the spamminess of notifications yourself. And for those people who say, yeah, give it to me wide open, hopefully that'll actually happen. right. Surrounded by some aggressive drivers. Trying to do 60 miles an hour in a crowd of cars doing 20 miles an hour. That's kind of a challenge. But what do you guys think? Do you think it would be worth it to try to do a Sunday live stream kind of earlier in the day? If so, just type yes in the chat. Just single word yes, because that's about all I'd be able to glean. So if you think that might be a cool idea and that might be a little more accessible to you, let me know and we'll try to make that happen. Good to know. I see some yeses out there. And I also see traffic coming to a complete stop. Well, I know you need to be in church on Sunday, but you don't go to church all day on Sunday, right? Church for us is only about 45 minutes to an hour. That leaves so much other time on a Sunday to do a live stream. Well, it's good that not everybody thinks Sunday's the best for them, because I do need people to hang out in the Wednesday live streams, right? But I'm just thinking Sunday is the opportunity for maybe people who don't normally make the Wednesday live stream for whatever reason, that might be a little bit of a better availability. But we'll see. I might test it. I'm obviously not going to do it this weekend because I'll be away. And we'll see how many Sundays or how many opportunities I have to do it. I'm not going to make it a formal schedule thing, but I may try it out on a couple of Sundays when I happen to be home. But I'm going to try to get as much camping in as possible. So we'll see how it all unfolds. Well, yeah, we're going to go. I'm actually going to go meet my parents. We're camping at our camp up north in upstate New York. So we'll be there for Mother's Day morning. And then we'll come back home and do whatever. You know, it's funny because there's a lot of channels who do live streams, and they basically comment about how live streams hurt their channel. I know certain channels who say they lose a bunch of subscribers for each live stream, but on this channel we actually gain subscribers on live streams. So I think live streaming has kind of become an integral part of Creator Fundamentals. And, you know, the opportunity to try to get another one in there to be available for some people who can't make the Wednesday nights. But yeah, that's all, guys. I just wanted to share that article with you. An Audi R8. I don't see an Audi. There's a BMW in front of me. A GMC just passed. Possible though. In any event, I appreciate you guys for jumping on the live stream. Thank you so much. Definitely check out that article when this video posts. I'd love for you guys to read the article and then share your comments in the actual comment section. And let me know what you think, whether you think if we'll see a noticeable change or how you think it might affect you and your channel. I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. Also, there's a very big truck that's doing about 15 miles an hour. We don't want to die. All right. So that's all for now, guys. I appreciate you coming to hang out. Like I said, definitely check out the article. Leave your comments on this video after and let me know what you guys think. And then I'll try to keep track of it as it gets released to see exactly how it might affect us and our channels and whether there's any noticeable difference. Take care. Later, guys. Later, Pam. Good to see everybody. That's all for now.